Pain is something we all try to avoid. We run from it. We fear it. We see it as something bad, something unfair, something that shouldn't happen to us. But what if I told you that pain is not your punishment? Pain is a teacher, not a punishment. It's one of life's greatest paradoxes that the very thing we try hardest to avoid is often the thing that shapes us the most. When pain enters your life, it doesn't come to destroy you. It comes to instruct you. It arrives not as a curse, but as a calling, whispering lessons that comfort could never teach. The problem is, most people never listen. They run from pain, they numb it, they complain about it, but they rarely sit with it long enough to understand its purpose. Pain is not something to fear, it is something to learn from. It is the language of growth, the voice of transformation, and the mirror that reflects who you truly are. Every wound carries wisdom. Every heartbreak hides a lesson. Every failure teaches resilience. When you start to see pain as your mentor rather than your enemy, everything changes. You begin to realize that the difficult seasons of life are not there to punish you. They are there to prepare you. The storm that knocks you down is the same storm that clears your path. The weight you carry is what builds your strength. The tears you cry are watering the seeds of your future. Pain refines you the way fire refines gold. It burns away what is weak so that what remains is pure, strong, and unbreakable. Think about the moments that shaped you the most. They weren't the easy ones. They were the times when you had no choice but to push through, to endure, to survive. Pain has a way of forcing you to confront who you really are. It strips away the mask, the ego, the comfort, and shows you your raw, unfiltered self. It asks, who are you when everything is taken away? And how badly do you want to rise again? Pain reveals your truth. It shows you what matters and what doesn't. It teaches humility, patience, and gratitude. It forces you to grow into the person you were meant to become. The most powerful people in the world aren't the ones who never faced pain. They're the ones who learned from it. They used it. They let it mold their mindset and sharpen their perspective. Pain gave them wisdom that comfort could never provide. When you fail, pain teaches you perseverance. When you lose, it teaches you appreciation. When you're betrayed, it teaches you trust in yourself. Every experience, no matter how painful, holds meaning if you're willing to look for it. The lesson is always there, but only for those brave enough to face it. Pain is a teacher that doesn't speak softly. It shouts, it breaks, it tests, but it never lies. It shows you exactly where you need to grow. It reveals the weaknesses you've been ignoring, the fears you've been hiding, and the changes you've been avoiding. The discomfort you feel is not there to harm you. It's there to wake you up. It's there to pull you out of mediocrity and push you toward your potential. The greatest growth in your life will come from the moments that hurt the most, because pain exposes your limits and challenges you to go beyond them. So, when life hurts, don't ask, why me? Instead, ask, what is this trying to teach me? Because every hardship, every struggle, every broken piece of your heart carries a message meant only for you. Pain will either imprison you or empower you. The choice is yours. If you let it, pain will become your greatest mentor, showing you that strength is not born from ease, but from endurance. When you accept pain as a teacher, you stop seeing life as unfair and start seeing it as a classroom. Every scar becomes a story. Every lesson becomes wisdom, and every moment of suffering becomes a step toward the person you were destined to become. Growth lies beyond discomfort. It exists on the other side of struggle, beyond the boundaries of what feels safe, easy, or familiar. Most people never discover their true potential because they spend their lives avoiding the very thing that would set them free: discomfort. They cling to routine, to security, to comfort zones that feel warm and predictable. But in doing so, they also cling to mediocrity. Comfort might make you feel good temporarily, but it robs you of progress. Discomfort, on the other hand, is where transformation begins. It's the signal that you're doing something that challenges your limits, something that forces you to grow into a stronger, sharper, more capable version of yourself. Every great accomplishment in history has been born through discomfort. Athletes push their bodies until every muscle screams for relief. Entrepreneurs risk everything, facing rejection, failure, and uncertainty. Artists, leaders, and innovators all walk through discomfort daily because they understand that growth does not happen in ease. It happens in struggle. The mind, just like the body, only strengthens under pressure. You cannot evolve if you refuse to be uncomfortable. The pain of growth may sting now, but the regret of staying the same will hurt forever. Discomfort is the doorway to self-discovery. It's the moment when you realize how much potential you've been holding back. When you push yourself into the unknown. When you lift one more rep, take one more risk, stay one more hour, or refuse to give up, you uncover abilities you didn't know existed. You start to see that the limitations you once believed in were never real. They were self-imposed boundaries built by fear. Discomfort tears those boundaries down. It forces you to face your fears head-on, to stop hiding behind excuses, and to grow beyond what you thought was possible. The truth is, nothing worth having comes easy. Success is uncomfortable. Change is uncomfortable. Discipline is uncomfortable. But it's through those uncomfortable moments that greatness is born. The early mornings, the long nights, the failures, the doubts, those are the conditions that build resilience. Comfort will always whisper, "Stay here. You've done enough." But growth will challenge you to move forward, to take the next step, even when everything in you wants to stop. The difference between average and exceptional isn't talent. It's the willingness to be uncomfortable long enough to grow. When you choose discomfort, you choose progress. You're saying yes to evolution and no to stagnation. Every time you resist the urge to quit when things get hard, you strengthen your mind. Every time you endure the discomfort of discipline, you build a foundation of power that comfort could never give. The process might be painful, but pain is temporary. The growth it brings is permanent. Discomfort is the furnace where greatness is forged. It's where you learn patience, persistence, and purpose. If you want to grow, you have to be willing to be uncomfortable every single day. You have to push yourself when motivation fades, when no one is watching, when it feels like you're not making progress. Growth is a slow burn. It demands sacrifice, effort, and endurance. You will fail, you will doubt, you will struggle, but that's all part of the process. Every step into discomfort is a step toward your potential. Every moment you endure builds the strength and confidence to handle more. So, embrace the discomfort. Lean into it. Welcome it as a sign that you are moving forward. Because the truth is, comfort never changes you. It only keeps you trapped in the person you are now. Growth is not found in the easy moments. It's found in the hard ones, in the sweat, the sacrifice, and the struggle. The more you run from discomfort, the further you run from your own greatness. But when you face it, when you walk straight through it, you realize that discomfort was never your enemy. It was your path. Growth doesn't live in comfort. It thrives beyond it, waiting for the brave to step forward and claim it. Pain builds resilience and character. It's the silent architect of strength, shaping you in ways comfort never could. Every struggle, every heartbreak, every disappointment you face is carving out a deeper level of endurance within you. Pain has a way of revealing your inner toughness. It forces you to confront your weaknesses and rise above them. It's through pain that you learn how much you can handle, how much you can endure, and how powerful you truly are. The moments that break you are the same moments that build you. Pain doesn't come to destroy you. It comes to develop you. It's life's way of preparing you for the weight of the future you're meant to carry. When everything feels easy, you don't grow. You become complacent, comfortable, and soft. But when life hits you hard, when it tests you with loss, failure, or struggle, that's when your real growth begins. Pain pushes you beyond your limits, forcing you to find strength you didn't know existed. It's in the moments when you're exhausted, defeated, and ready to give up that resilience is born. You learn that quitting won't make the pain disappear, and that the only way to overcome it is to keep moving forward. Every time you choose to rise after being knocked down, you add another layer to your character. Resilience isn't built in comfort. It's built in chaos. It's developed when you're pushed to your breaking point, when everything seems impossible, yet you keep going anyway. Pain teaches you to adapt, to persevere, to stay calm in the storm. It teaches patience when you want results fast and courage when fear tries to paralyze you. You can't fake resilience. It's something you earn through experience. You earn it by standing tall when life tries to crush you. You earn it by surviving what others would have given up on. The people with the strongest character aren't the ones who had it easy. They're the ones who faced pain and refused to let it define them. Character is built in the dark, when no one is watching, when no one understands what you're going through. It's built in those lonely moments when you have to encourage yourself to keep fighting. Pain forces you to decide who you really are, whether you'll become bitter or better, whether you'll give up or grow. It's in those decisions that character takes shape. Every obstacle becomes an opportunity to refine your values, to strengthen your integrity, and to prove to yourself that you can handle whatever life throws your way. The scars you carry aren't signs of weakness. They're marks of survival. They tell the world that you've been tested and you've overcome. Without pain, you wouldn't have empathy. You wouldn't have depth. You wouldn't understand the struggles of others or appreciate the beauty of peace. Pain humbles you. It breaks down your ego and replaces it with gratitude. It reminds you that strength isn't about never falling. It's about always rising. Pain sharpens your perspective, making you appreciate the small victories and the moments of joy that once went unnoticed. The deeper your pain, the deeper your capacity for compassion, wisdom, and understanding. Pain builds you from the inside out. It transforms you into someone who can stand tall in adversity, someone who doesn't crumble under pressure. It prepares you for the weight of your dreams and the challenges that come with success. Because success without struggle has no foundation, and strength without pain has no meaning. Every time you overcome pain, you become more disciplined, more focused, more unstoppable. You develop a mindset that can't be shaken, a heart that refuses to quit, and a soul that thrives under pressure. Pain may hurt, but it also heals. It heals the weak parts of you by turning them into sources of power. And in the end, it's that pain that gives you the resilience and character to face anything life puts in your way. Turn suffering into strength. Every hardship, every heartbreak, every moment of pain has the potential to become the foundation of your greatest power. Suffering is not the end of you. It's the beginning of your transformation. It's life's way of forcing you to grow beyond who you were, to evolve into someone wiser, stronger, and more capable. The truth is, everyone suffers. No one escapes it. But not everyone uses it. Some people let suffering define them, while others let it refine them. The difference between those who break and those who rise lies in one simple choice: whether you use your suffering as fuel or as a chain. Suffering exposes the parts of you that need to change. It reveals your fears, your weaknesses, and your limits. It pushes you to confront your pain instead of hiding from it. Most people spend their lives trying to avoid discomfort. But the people who grow the most are the ones who face it head on. They take the hurt, the rejection, the loss, and turn it into a lesson. They use the energy of their suffering to build something better, something stronger, something meaningful. Because when you channel your suffering into action, the world's tough. You transform it from something that breaks you into something that builds you. Strength doesn't come from the moments when everything goes right. It comes from surviving what should have destroyed you. It comes from the nights when you couldn't see a way forward, but kept going anyway. It comes from the tears that fell in silence, from the pain that no one else understood, from the battle you fought within yourself and refused to lose. That's where true strength is born, in the fire of suffering. Every trial you face is shaping your endurance, hardening your mindset, and preparing you for the next level of your life. The suffering you feel now is sculpting the warrior you're becoming. When you learn to turn suffering into strength, nothing can defeat you. You stop seeing pain as a setback and start seeing it as an opportunity. You realize that every hardship carries within it a seed of power, a chance to grow stronger, to think deeper, to love harder, to become more. The people who rise above their suffering are not the ones who never fall. They're the ones who fall and choose to rise differently each time. They refuse to let their suffering define their story. Instead, they use it to rewrite it. They take the darkness that once consumed them and turn it into the light that guides them. You have that same power. The pain you've been running from can become the source of your greatest transformation. Every wound carries a lesson. Every setback builds resilience. And every loss creates space for new beginnings. When you decide to stop resenting your suffering and start learning from it, you take control. You stop being a victim of your circumstances and start becoming a master of your destiny. You stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and start asking, "What is this trying to make me?" That shift changes everything. Turning suffering into strength doesn't mean pretending that pain doesn't hurt. It means refusing to let it stop you. It means using every ounce of pain as motivation to grow, to rise, to fight harder. It means channeling your frustration into focus, your heartbreak into hunger, your loss into lessons. Every challenge becomes a tool. Every failure becomes feedback. And every moment of suffering becomes another opportunity to build your inner power. The strength you gain from suffering is the kind that never fades. It's the kind that lives inside you, the kind that can't be taken away. So, when life breaks you down, don't stay broken. Don't surrender to the pain. Use it, let it push you. Let it teach you. Let it make you unshakable. Because every time you turn suffering into strength, you rise a little higher. You grow a little tougher. You become a little more who you were meant to be. The same suffering that once felt unbearable becomes the reason you're unbreakable. Embrace the pain, embrace your purpose. Pain is not just a random part of life. It's the pathway that often leads you to your true calling. The moments that hurt you the most are often the ones that awaken something powerful within you. Every struggle, every setback, every heartbreak has meaning. Pain has a way of stripping away distractions and forcing you to face what truly matters. When everything feels like it's falling apart, what's really happening is that life is guiding you closer to your purpose. It's through pain that you begin to see what you were meant to do, who you were meant to become, and why you were placed on this path. Most people spend their lives running from pain, thinking it's a sign they're going the wrong direction. But often, pain is a sign that you're on the right one. It's a sign that you're growing, stretching, and stepping into something greater than yourself. Purpose isn't found in comfort, it's found in struggle. You don't discover who you are when everything is easy. You discover it when you're tested, when life demands more from you than you thought you had to give. Pain is the invitation to rise beyond who you are now and become who you were meant to be. When you embrace the pain, you stop fighting against your own evolution. You begin to understand that every challenge carries a purpose. The loss you experienced might be teaching you strength. The rejection might be redirecting you towards something better. The failure might be shaping your discipline. Pain is the tool life uses to mold you into the version of yourself that can handle the weight of your destiny. Every purpose comes with pressure, and pain is how that pressure is applied. It's not meant to destroy you. It's meant to define you. The world's tough. The people who live with deep purpose are not the ones who avoided pain. They're the ones who faced it head on and found meaning in it. They turned their suffering into service. They took the lessons from their darkest days and used them to bring light to others. Your pain has power, not just to change you, but to impact the world around you. What breaks you open often becomes the very thing that connects you to others. Pain gives you empathy, perspective, and a reason to act. It gives you the courage to speak truth, to help others heal, to stand for something greater than yourself. When you embrace your pain, you transform it into purpose. And that's when your life begins to carry real meaning. The truth is, you can't have purpose without pain. You can't grow into your calling without being tested. Every great journey has moments of suffering because purpose demands sacrifice. You will lose things along the way: people, comfort, stability. But everything you lose creates space for what you're meant to gain. The fire of pain refines you. It purifies your motives, and it clears the path toward what truly matters. When you start to see pain not as punishment, but as preparation, everything changes. You stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and start saying, "This is happening for me." You start to see the bigger picture. The hidden strength being built, the purpose being revealed through the struggle. So, embrace the pain. Let it shape you, teach you, and lead you. Don't numb it. Don't run from it. Don't hide behind distractions. Sit with it long enough to understand what it's trying to tell you. Because inside your pain lies your direction, your drive, your destiny. The road to purpose is paved with struggle, but it's also lined with growth, wisdom, and fulfillment. Every time you choose to embrace the pain, you take one step closer to the person you were created to be. Pain doesn't block your purpose. It builds it. And once you understand that, you stop fearing the pain and start walking boldly toward your destiny, knowing that every ounce of suffering is shaping you for something greater than yourself.